All of this, it all started after the leaders of the two Koreas opened the new year by expressing a willingness to improve inter-Korean relations.
That's right. All eyes are on whether this will evolve into an easing of tensions on the Korean peninsula. For more, we are joined by our very own Unification Ministry correspondent Hwang Sung-hee in the studio.
So, Sung-hee, let's start with a recap of the positive developments between the two Koreas recently.
Right. For now, both Koreas seem to be in the mood for dialogue. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, in his New Year speech, made an apparent proposal for a summit. He was expected to show a willingness to improve inter-Korean ties in his speech, but this was quite unexpected. Take a listen.
Under the right mood and conditions, there is no reason for us to hold back from the highest level talks. We will put our utmost efforts for practical progress in dialogue and negotiations.
And this came just 3 days after South Korea made an offer for talks. South Korean Unification Minister Ryu Gil-jae again reiterated Seoul's hopes for any form of dialogue with Pyongyang following Kim's speech. And since then, we haven't seen any criticism from the north of South Korea.
And the year we started off by quite a surprising offer from both the leaders of both Koreas. So how will the newest U.S. sanctions affect this possible momentum between the two Koreas?
Well, Washington named 3 entities, including North Korea's military intelligence agency, and sanctioned 10 people with connection to weapon sales and proliferation. South Korea's foreign ministry has called this an appropriate response, saying such cyber attacks that damage private interests cannot be tolerated. Now, some say this could kill any momentum for talks, while others say North Korea is focused on targeting just Washington.
At this stage, North Korea is using a two-sided strategy by pressuring the U.S. to staying out of issues related to the Korean peninsula and creating a mood for dialogue with the South.
And as we saw in Kanyu's reports, North Korea has been dishing out criticism at the U.S. for the last few days, but it has refrained from making one single negative remark about South Korea.
Now, other than North Korea suddenly changing its mind, what else could come in the way of improving inter-Korean ties?
Well, there are 2 events to watch out for in the first half of the year. South Korea and the U.S. are expected to conduct their joint military exercises in late February, which could raise tensions back on the Korean peninsula. Now, North Korea has always protested the drills, and in his New Year's speech, Kim Jong-un demanded that Seoul call off the plans. And another potential source of contention is the opening of a UN human rights office in Seoul in March. Still, many analysts don't expect Pyongyang to launch a provocation so soon. Take a listen.
There's nothing particular on the horizon that North Korea would have to respond to. So I think in many ways we're still on the positive part of the cycle. So I don't anticipate too many provocations from the north, but of course you never know.
And analysts say the next 50 days is crucial. That's the time leading up to the joint military drills. If the Koreas fail to make any progress by then, North Korea could launch another nuclear provocation. Who knows?
So what's the prospects of inter-Korean ties for the coming months?
Well, Kim Jong-un will seek to end its diplomatic isolation by making progress with South Korea. President Park Geun-hye will want to make some progress with North Korea in her 3rd term in office. Analysts don't expect a summit so soon, but definitely more dialogue at the lower levels to discuss issues like the reunions of war-separated families, the lifting of sanctions, and the resumption of South Korean tours to Mount Kumgang. There could also be more joint cultural events to mark the 70th year of independence, the 70th year of the division of the Korean peninsula. And another interesting thing is we're also waiting to see if the 2 leaders will accept Russia's invitation to its 70th anniversary of the end of the World War II ceremony, although many doubt the possibility of seeing the 2 leaders in Moscow in May.
Well, so far so good. 2015 is turning out to be a great year for inter-Korean relations. We hope there's more to look forward to, and we hope you bring some great news again next time, Sung-hee. Thank you for that report.
My pleasure.